Happy Friday, welcome back. I'm Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe, looking at some buy low, sell high guys. Looking for some possible second half surges, revisiting some familiar faces that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. Um, Starting with Eddie Lacy, probably been one of the most disappointing picks of this season. Running back's been pretty brutal. Look at him and CJ Anderson, and you're looking at two top picks. I mean, looking at Lacy, he went a lot of first round. Anderson, borderline first, early second. Been very disappointing so far. Um, there might have been an issue with the ankle against the Chargers, which was really the game we thought he would have a breakout week. But I mean, there really should be no point of Starks out touching him other than the fact that Starks actually does look a lot better than what Lacy's producing right now. But that could be the issue with the injury. But coming off a bye week, I'm looking for Lacy to have a better second half here. You could probably get him fairly cheap for what we would think we could get him at at the beginning of the season. I think owners are losing faith, especially with here in the bye week where we're not going to see him. Definitely fill out a few offers for him and look for him to post better numbers in the second half. Lamar Miller, you could say either way here. I've seen buy or sell. I'm buying. He finally got touches under Dan Campbell there, which he got 19. Rushed for 5.9 yards per carry, 119 yards and a touchdown. Not getting touches has been a downside for him this season. If someone believes that's a fluke, jump all over Miller because he's going to get a bump in usage going forward. Now that the fat has been trimmed from the coaching staff, which was holding him back all along, look for them to rely on Miller here and even up the offense a little bit. Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas have been kind of hindered by Manning's decreasing skill level, which he's just on his way out. And it has owners worried to a certain degree. Denver simply has no other options, though. The running game has not been producing other than when Ronnie Hillman has his little breakout game, and then he goes back to nothing. It's split with C.J. Anderson. And Manning hasn't been consistent. We thought last 2 weeks where he faces very poor defenses, he hasn't done anything. But Emmanuel Sanders has still been producing. I like him. Demaryius Thomas has kind of been disappointing as well, and you could say it's because of Manning. But once again, both guys have wide receiver one upside. Obviously, Thomas does, but Sanders has looked very well, put on some solid lines this season, despite Manning's performance. But regardless, they're both are going to see plenty of volume, find the end zone plenty of times going forward. I'm definitely seeing if I can get one on the low. Well, Sean McCoy bounced back last week, kind of a surprise, even though he said he wasn't 100% with a big rushing game and found the end zone. I highly doubt owners are believing he's back and going to be a top 5 producing back for the rest of the season because he's not. But you can maybe possibly get him for a guy like Jeremy Hill. Maybe you shop out, who's been scoring some touchdowns but not much else. I look for McCoy to have a better yardage over the rest of the season, hopefully work well into the passing game, which would be a very nice bonus, but he hasn't done that so far. They're going to need to rely on him with Watkins and Harvin out for who knows how long. So he's in an offense that's going to feed him the ball well, and look for him to get his touches, and I'm buying low on the Buffalo running back. Selling for me this week, LeGarrette Blount has put up 2 nice games this season, once against the Colts, which he always does. If he could play the Colts 16 times a year, he would be a number 1 pick every year. Deion Lewis, is going to see plenty of touches in the well. We got a nice running back by committee that we all love. Blount also faces some plenty of tough defenses and poor matchups over the next few weeks. Actually, and leading into the end of the year. Something I just don't want a part of because he's been inconsistent. Yeah, his games have been big when he gets going, but it's only been 2 weeks here out of 6, so not something I really look at. I believe you can unload him for a player of Allen Robinson's caliber, who's a number 1 wideout in the Jacksonville system with Bortles throwing the ball a ton. And he's the guy who finds the end zone consistently. I think that's a pretty good selling point of a type of player that you can get, because people, even though Belichick and his running backs, people still do love Blount there. Golden Tate, projected over 140 targets, 85 receptions going but 1 TD, which actually probably shouldn't have even counted, but that's another story. So far this season, that's all he's done. The Lions have only done anything against against the Bears defense, which is absolutely horrendous. Moving forward, I can't see Stafford being consistent. I can't see Golden Tate being consistent. But although he is getting a large volume, that could be also another selling point to offer up, especially in PPR leagues, because you know what? There's definitely a guy lower that you can grab, guy who's going to be more consistent in finding the end zone as well as getting those looks too. So I'm going to see, I mean, you know, the Lions passing game is there because they have no running game at all right now. And I think volume is a selling point for Tate, and if you can get an owner to bite, do so. First things first, do not sell this player unless you are getting someone to overpay, and that player is Steve Smith. He's averaging 12 targets a game. The guy is, I believe, the third rated wide receiver according to Pro Football Focus so far this season. I know he's definitely top 5, but you know, he's the only player in the passing game who's been consistent, who's been the guy that Flacco relies on, but the guy's 36 years old. Already has injury issues, but he's playing through them. I mean, the guy's tough as nails. There's no doubt about it. But coming into the second half of the season, possibly could see a decline, you know, as far as just the offense in general, but as well as his health. His numbers so far this season should have owners buzzing when they see him on the trade block. But if you're getting someone who's equally as risky, inconsistent in return, it's definitely a no. I'd rather take Steve Smith all the way for the rest of the season. But if you can get someone to overpay for Steve Smith because of his epic lines that have been so far this season, I'm looking to ship him out for more consistent play, a more reliable guy down the line. Because I think it is a guessing game at this point. But like I said, do not sell this player unless you are getting someone to overpay. That's going to do it for week 7. Buy low or sell high, and good luck with this week in your matchups.